Welcome back to the channel. This is No Luck Trucking. I'm Matt, and we are currently waiting for the truck to warm up and for me to get ready to drive up to Baltimore to start our dedicated loop all over again. So we were home this weekend. Felt like it went by instantly. Didn't have a ton of time. It felt like we didn't get much done, but I think we actually, I don't know. We got a lot of small things done, but we didn't get anything huge accomplished. So, since the last video, I mentioned then that we were having an issue with one of the lines for the governor frozen, and we were having some issues with the air release and stuff like that. So, throughout the week, it got a little worse. And by the time I got back to the house, it was definitely time that we started looking around for air governor. I was just going to go ahead and replace it. The dealership did not have any in stock. They had to order one from a different store and get it shipped in and blah blah blah. So we ordered it, but it was going to take a while. It wasn't going to be, you know, during our trip home. And then we went to Fleet Pride to try them, and the guy pulls out a manual from 2019, a cross-reference manual, which this truck and this air system, the air system is new to like this generation truck. So like 21, 22 was when they started using this particular one. So I didn't have high hopes. He was pretty proud of himself, and he said he found one that cross-referenced to the part number that I gave him. So we had to order that as well. So I was like, I really don't think that that's the one, but we'll go ahead and get it on order just in case, you know, we need one, or so I thought. So it was still like 8 degrees at the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna climb under there with our battery operated heat gun, and I'm gonna heat up the governor to make sure nothing's frozen, make sure, you know, there's no ice clogging anything, and just check around for you know, broken air hoses or anything that would potentially cause issues. So I did not want to climb on the ground, but it was very cold that day. The ground was a little slushy, a little wet, but I climbed under the truck, which if you've never had the pleasure of climbing under an aero truck, whew, you should enjoy that treat one day. It consists of laying flat on the ground and then pulling yourself by the drive shaft all the way up under the cab, because there's not a ton of room. But anyways, I got under there, and right away I noticed that there was an airline hanging. So what had ended up happening was water got around a fitting and it froze, and it actually ended up splitting the fitting, or the airline going into the fitting. So I tried to dig out the broken airline that was caught in the fitting, but I was unable to under there, and I was getting mad, and I was saying bad words and throwing tools. So I ended up taking the air fitting off of the governor, bringing it inside the truck, and digging out there since it was warm in here. The APU was going with the heat. Able to dig it out, and then I cleanly cut the airline. I took it out of the it was in a wired loom, so I was able to give a little slack, plug it back in. We let it inflate, let the air fill back up. It hit the air release, and it's been perfect since. So we took care of that, thankfully, because that was getting to be pretty annoying. So it would get up to the air pressure that it normally would, and then it would not release the air, and then it would get up to like 130, and then the emergency relief valve would bleed air back down. So the compressor was going quite a bit. It was going almost non-stop, and we didn't have full regulation of the air like it's supposed to. But we got it all fixed. Everything's good. I went and got a physical today because mine's going to run out next month. Got that taken care of a little early. Everything was good with that. And then, so recently we've kind of touched on this subject a while back on one of the videos of like, what are we going to do after trucking? And we couldn't really think of anything. There's a lot of things that we like to do, but a lot of them are hobby stuff, and it's not really, you know, conducive to making a living. So with the way the trucking industry is right now, you know, like, we're not looking to get out of trucking right now. Let's be clear about that. You know, we are still planning to do this a couple more years. Right now, even being the bottom of the market, I mean, we're still doing pretty well. We have the dedicated runs. It's nice, easy. We save a lot of fuel. Everything's good. We enjoy it. I like the routine. The routine is good. I don't like missing that sense of adventure from OTR, and I miss making the videos. It makes for terrible content, you know, just having the same routine, and especially since we can't film half the time. But you know, we are planning to stay in the trucking industry for a little while. If the rates ever go back up and we can continue on with like a dedicated load, we might continue to do that, you know. I might just have to put the YouTube channel down to rest until we go back over the road fully, but you know, we got to do what we got to do to continue, you know, paying our bills and saving up some money and stuff like that. You know, YouTube was fun, but it's kind of a secondary thing. It's definitely not a primary thing. You know, it wasn't like a primary money-making thing, anything like that. We just did it because we enjoyed it and it was fun. It was entertaining. You know, some people like watching the videos, but anyways, so we talked about an exit strategy. So eventually our plan is to pay off the truck, run it for a little while, payment free, and then either put a driver in it or sell it. So my cousin's actually going through CDL school now, so by the time he gets established and got some tenure under his belt, we might put him in this truck. Who knows? You know, maybe I don't want to be a dispatcher. I don't know. Maybe we'll just sell it and move on with our life. But anyways, so I've kind of developed a path of what I want to do when I get out of trucking, and so far it's been, I'm kind of trying to figure out if it's going to be sustainable or not on a higher scale, but we've had a lot of fun and a lot of money to be made in buying and selling guitars and guitar amplifiers and stuff like that. So I've been finding a lot of these really good deals on like Facebook Marketplace, and we go and we grab the guitars and then, you know, clean them up, and then we're gonna put them, you know, up for sale and stuff like that. We did that with a amplifier, Marshall amplifier that we went and got. It was in like Culpeper, Virginia. So if you know where Culpeper is, it's kind of in this like Bermuda Triangle. You know, you're not near the interstate at all, because like 64 and 81 run, and it's off in this like little corner that it's out there, let's put it that way. So we went and grabbed the stuff, cleaned it up, and you know, that's kind of like, that was the first step in flipping guitars and stuff like that. So my plan is to do it on the side while we're still driving and while we still have the income, because you know, you don't have to make those like split-second decisions or those rush decisions to sell, like to fire sale stuff or get rid of stuff because you have to pay rent or anything like that. So while we don't need the money, we can invest it into the guitars that we're going to be reselling, and then we can see if we can grow it enough that it will be sustainable, let's put it that way. So it does take a bit of capital, because the guitars that we want to deal in start at around $1,500 and go up to about $4,000, $5,000 for the guitars. So to have an inventory of a bunch of guitars is going to be quite a bit of an investment. So we're going to start small while we're still driving, and we're going to see if we can ramp it up. And then if we start doing that and it makes more money than trucking, then we might be selling the truck earlier than we think. But right now, I think we're just going to kind of grow it, see how it goes. But then in a few years, you know, we're going to have a lot more money to invest in the business. And then, you know, we might still drive part-time. I haven't figured that part out. We haven't figured the details out yet. We're kind of just formulating this plan. We're going to see if it works and see if it's sustainable. But it's the first time that something's kind of felt like it clicks, or like that's what I want to do after trucking. So like I said, we're gonna see how it goes while we are still trucking, and then transition to that. If it's sustainable, we'll transition to that after trucking and sell the truck. But it's gonna be probably several years before we get there, because we're gonna pay off the truck completely by next year. You know, we're gonna pay it off significantly early so we can get rid of all the interest payments and everything like that. So we're gonna try to run the truck for a year or two with no payment. You know, obviously we're gonna have maintenance, but I mean, you're gonna have that anyways. But it'll be nice to run the truck with no truck payment looming. You know, save that extra money and then slowly transition away. But I mean, I'm hoping the rates will pick up soon, and then who knows, maybe we'll get off the dedicated stuff and go back OTR and get back to making videos and having fun, enjoying the adventure. Liz and I were talking today. It's like I really do enjoy this dedicated stuff because of the, you know, we know exactly where we're going to be, and we have a routine. You know, there's Planet Fitness down the road. We know when we can drop the trailer and go somewhere else and sleep. You know, we know where there's Walmarts. We know Greensboro, FedEx. You know, you can stay on site. It's a really nice facility. So we know all the people. They know us. Everything is good, but there's no adventure. You know, everything, like we were talking the other day about, I haven't looked at a shipper or receiver on Google Maps or you know, I haven't had to pull out the atlas in forever, because we know where we're going. We switch at the same place. We go to the same places every single week. So there's no adventure anymore. Whereas before, when you were out there, you know, we were going, I would say probably 90% of the deliveries that we went to for the first time we've ever been there. So everything was a new adventure. We had to figure out where to check in at places. We had to figure out which entrance to go into, which directions we had to go in to get to this place. You know, we had to make sure there's no low bridges, no neighborhoods, all the whole stressful stuff of doing the OTR. But that's kind of the adventure as well. And then you get to see all these places that you've never been to. You get to haul stuff that you've never, you know, all this elaborate stuff that we've never hauled. Like we haven't called the hazmat department in 8 months now. And before, it was like every week we would be calling them, because that was the money maker at the time, was just hauling hazmat. But like I said, we've been enjoying the stability. You know, we know what our paycheck's going to be. We know where we're going. We know, you know, it's peaceful sleep, way more peaceful than in a rest area or a truck stop with, you know, trucks idling next to you, or reefers going off, or backup beepers, you know, all that stuff. So we don't have to deal with any of that anymore. We don't have to fight for parking. So it's good and bad, but you know, I do miss the adventure sometimes, and maybe we'll get back to that soon. It all depends on the market, but as of right now, rates are still pretty stale, so we're gonna stay where we're at, doing what we're doing. So I just wanted to come on, make a video before we head up there. You know, still got a little bit of time. There's somebody that uses our door to get loaded, and they leave at 10, so we can't really get there before 10. It's 3 hours up there, so we got to leave somewhere around 7:30. So got a little bit of time. This video will probably go up tomorrow, so it'll be during the day for you guys if you're watching this when we drop it. But I just wanted to come on and, you know, make a short video, kind of update everyone on what our plans are, long-term plans. But thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.